Hey guys, Illy here, and this time we're talking about the Soviet Tier 10 light tank T-100 LT, which was buffed in patch 9.20.1. T-100 had its reload time reduced by around half a second, so now it's below 6.5 seconds, and if you have brothers in arms it will be like 6.3. And it also got a few extra rounds to its ammo rack, just like other LT-10. So how does this tank feel now? As you can see, I have a replay from Paris, because I want to underline the changes to the gun, because, you know, we all know that this tank is a fantastic scout. It's a #1 scout in the game, which can spot anything, anywhere, which has a lot of advantages as a scout, of crazy camo, extremely low profile, bouncy armor, it turns quickly, it has nice acceleration, good top speed, everything is fine. But it's the gun that I want to talk about, because the gun is always a point of discussion with T-100 LT. It's very controversial, and some people see this tank as a scout without gun, which is of course completely wrong as I see it. You know, people say that this tank has small alpha and small penetration, and that this combination of small alpha and small penetration makes a lot of trouble to this tank. It's unable to deal a lot of damage. And I tend to disagree with that, because it doesn't really matter so much how much alpha damage or reload or DPM or penetration you have. What matters is how you can use that. Because everything works, you know, in a system. You can't just take out, okay, this is the gun of the tank, this is how it performs. No, it also matters how easily the tank can flank enemies, if the tank can shoot someone while being unspotted, which is always the case for T-100. It's very easy to stay invisible before a shot, for example, at almost any distance. So there are so many different if and how, that if you just take Sheridan's gun and take the gun of T-100, well, yeah, the Sheridan's gun is stronger indeed. Not by much, but it is stronger. But if you take everything as a complex, if you take into account the other parameters of the tank which you can use to deal more damage, which are important when you try to deal damage, then T-100 becomes a relatively good damage dealer. I would say it's second best, maybe joint third best damage dealer after Sheridan. Sheridan is a stable damage dealer, every battle 3000, 4000, sometimes 5000. T-100 does a little bit less of damage, but also because T-100 is such a fantastic scout that you don't always want to deal damage. Why would I deal damage if I can just spot and get everyone killed? T-100 of course feels better in open maps. In Prokhorovka and Malinovka, that's, you know, 8k is pretty easy there. No other light can do it so easily, maybe 13105. But in T-100 you never have problems. T-100 struggles a bit in city maps, except Paris, because I like Paris. Out of all city maps, I like Paris the most. It's a horrible map, but when you play in a light tank from the middle, you get really good results here, so Paris is not that bad. So if you see T-100 as a complex of different features, of things that you can use to deal damage, how easily you flank, and how you can DPM enemy, how you can keep enemy tracked indefinitely, which is a feature of this tank. No other tier 10 light tank can keep enemy tracked, because all other tier 10 lights have longer reload. Well, except 13105, but that one will just make 3 shots and then will go reloading. You can just keep enemy tracked for as long as you wish. You catch enemy in uncomfortable position, awkward position while he's turning to someone, you track him, you keep some Jagdpanzer tracked while your allies will just rape your enemy. You can be very effective at tracking. And this reload improvement really helped that a lot, because with reload of less than 6.5 seconds, you can really keep almost any enemy tracked as long as you wish. Nobody will fix before, or almost nobody will fix before you reload. And another advantage of this quicker reload by half a second, because previously, if you had brothers in arms and vents and all, your reload would be like 6.8, I think. Now it's, yeah, below 6.5 seconds. you really feel that difference when you fight against tanks with 240 and 250 alpha. Those like T-44, T-54, lightweight like Patton, yeah, tanks with 7 seconds too, like Patton, maybe some 140 if you shoot first, you know, you really feel that difference, because if you drive out at some CDC and you shoot CDC first and then CDC shoots you, you know that you will make the second shot also first. That's a huge difference, because maybe you will kill the enemy with a second shot. So if you see 2-shot CDC and you drive out at that CDC, you will take only 1 hit from him. That's 240, and you will deal up to 600 damage. I really felt that difference pretty much. So if you play against tanks with around 6-7 seconds reload, then you will really feel that a lot, and you will feel a lot more comfortable dueling them. You know that you will be able to make 2 shots against enemies 1 shot, so you will be able to trade a lot more effectively. Apart from that, no other changes to the gun, no other changes to gameplay. A perfect flanker, ready to pack the enemy's side with a lot of shots. And maybe a slightly weaker damage dealer as Sheridan, but still a very, very dangerous tank. With absolutely fantastic gun handling being able to make snapshots from 500 meters on the move, which is totally fantastic. You never miss a chance to damage enemy, you just point the gun, you click, and at any distance you'll have better accuracy than some under-aimed medium tank. That is the big power of this tank. So whenever you fight other tanks, try to get some distance between you and enemy, because you will hit the enemy from the distance, but you will be a big trouble for the enemy if you are on some distance, because this tank is small, this tank is bouncy, and you'll hit the enemy, but the enemy will not hit you from some 300 meters. That's something you should really use in this tank. So yeah, this tank is a perfect scout and a very, very dangerous damage dealer. It's really comfortable to play this tank. Every battle is enjoyment. It feels relaxing. You don't feel that tension when you play this tank. If you want some really easy gameplay, when you feel really relaxed when you play it, you should go for T-100. A very, very strong tank and a king of lights. Thank you for watching, guys, and see you in the next videos.